to predicting him, and I've said this before, Ben, as well, when I casted with you. It's like, I hate predicting anything about this guy, because if I think he's gonna lose, he's gonna win. For a year straight, I'm telling people on stream how damn good Soul is, and he's never does it. And obviously, eventually, people start thinking like, Soul's just a ladder hero, you know, shut up, guys, like, he's not that good. But he really is that good. But he has such a hard time showing it when it matters the most. And even if he does show it when it matters the most, like IM Katowice 20, I think 17, it was already back then, or 18?
I think 18.
20, IM Katowice 2018, open bracket. He beat stats, he eliminated stats of the entire tournament. But then he loses in the next round and he doesn't actually qualify for the main event. That is Soul in a nutshell.
I think you both nailed it. Like, 1 minute he can look great, like one of the best, or maybe the best European Terror, and then the next minute, like, what the hell is he doing kind of thing. I mean, even here, he's misplaced his barracks right at the start of the game. He can't fit a reactor in there or a tech lab. So, you know, he's one of those players. I'll never count him out,
no,
but I'll never count him in.
So you just don't count on him at all. That's what you...
You know, like, for real, like, is it going to be the 7K Soul that shows up, or is it going to be the 6K Soul? It's two very different people that happen to play under the very same nickname.
All memes aside, this is a very big series for both of them. I think Soul, what is he, 0-2? Can you take a look real quick? I thought he won one series, but I could be wrong.
1-2.
Yeah, so he's 1-2, and so is Zest. So guys, for both of them, this is a very, very big series. I know it's only Friday night, and I don't want to sell this like the grand finals of the entire event, but for both of them, this is a pretty big moment. You don't want to fall to 1 and 3, then it becomes really hard to advance. I don't know how much of this has been covered, by the way, on the main stream, but I just want to tell you guys that in Group C, we did have a minor miracle. Freaking Hellraiser starts the day 0-2, 0-4 in maps. And then he just comes out and he beats Bunny, he beats Showtime, and he beats the other Zergs. He ends 5-2 in his group. Like, Hellraiser actually advanced to the next day. After starting 0-2, 0-4, I have rarely seen something like that. So, mad props to Clash there, Hellraiser.
No, like, massive props to Hellraiser. You know, like, I really counted him out of that group. I don't think he's been playing too well. I know he's had some runs in the knockout bracket in WCS Spring that was kind of like, okay, can he make it? He didn't eventually. But no, on the day today, he performed absolutely beautifully. And the thing is, he bounced back from a super deficit, and he beat players that he absolutely shouldn't have beat. So very well played to Hellraiser, and it's beautiful to see that kind of tenacity from a player.
If you would have told me that Hellraiser was advancing from that group in the beginning of the day, I would have been like...
Get out of town. You know, whose spot is he going to take?
Yeah,
though?
maybe like in the beginning, I'd be like, well, that would be a cool upset story.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's going to happen. I hope it happens, but I don't think it will. And then if you would have told me that he would make it out when he starts the day 0-2, 0-4, I'd be like, yeah, get the hell out of here, mate. That's never going to happen.
If you told me he was taking Showtime's spot after beating Showtime 2-0 or whatever, no way. But anyhow, getting into this game, like, so Thunderbird, this is a map that is kind of different to most because there's only one real ground attack path into your, like, full 3 bases. What are you smiling at, Kev?
Because you just said Thunderbirds, so now I have to ask Kev, when you were a little boy, did you play with the toys of the Thunderbirds?
What?
Yeah, you're
Mate,
too young.
he's less than 35. He's not going to know about the Thunderbirds. You ancient.
That's my childhood, mate. I played with these little tiny rocket ships of the Thunderbirds. This was prime time TV in my days, okay? They had a little TV show.
Back when they had black and white TVs, Kev, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's really cool because their big ship was this big green ship, and it was kind of like a carrier or a mothership, and then the other little ships were inside of it, and then it was released.
It's the show with the ropes, right? It's not real?
Yeah, it's pretty poor television.
It's like dolls.
Yeah, it's
on
like dolls.
strings.
Yeah, it's like on a string. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, on strings. Yeah, it's not real. Yeah.
You know Thunderbirds.
But yeah, I know the string. Yeah. The string station.
Okay.
I heard of it. This game, by the way, to get back to Starcraft, actually was kind of interesting. Zest opened up with Cybercore first, made an adept, but he was completely fine with just chasing away the Reaper and making sure that Soul scouted nothing, which Soul basically had no clue whatsoever what was happening and went for a... Well, this was a rather fast 3rd CC anyway, no?
Yep.
Oh, it definitely is, and it's not on the... In fact, whereabouts has he placed it?
It's a very old location.
Wait, why? Is he planning on floating this over to his 4th or what? I don't understand the placement of this, but this is one of the things that Soul does. You know, he can be a little bit crazy. Maybe he's hoping to avoid hallucination scouts. I don't know.
You know, in the last series that Kevin and I casted, it's kind of funny. We don't mind connecting with a hallucinated Phoenix. Soul left the game against Zenster while he was up in supply. He had 190 supply and he left. I'm not going to say he was winning the game because he wasn't. He was working with a lot of Marines and Lynx with +2 and Adreno broke through and they started to do a lot of damage in his main base. But it's still kind of weird to see him leave a game with 190 supply.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a tournament like this, I know there's a lot of series to bounce back from, so it's not as if it's like, okay, my life is on the line.
But it was
right here,
against
right now.
Zenster, and that's the thing
That's
as
a player
well,
he should beat, technically.
Yes, that's what we said as well. Good blink here by Zest. Shuts down this Cloak Banshee, doesn't get ace. Man, look at the work account. Kev, shall we go quiet for a minute?
What have those guys been complaining about? Okay,
Nothing to see here, boys. Mapu, don't you dare to show the income graph. Mapu, I warn you. My man.
My man! Who was it that you saw him say that? Was it freaking Desro?
Yeah. My man, my man.
My man, my man. Okay, so I mean, this Banshee's going to get a decent scouter, but the thing is, Zest's economy has gone totally
good though.
untouched.
No shield batteries over here in the main base. I don't know where those Stalkers are, but I don't see them. They're being distracted by this Marine. Soul strikes back, and it's actually pretty damn decent damage, or someone else would say good damage.
Good damage. Smacks lips.
I love how much you love that.
We've had it. I love how much you love that. What are you on about? But anyhow, so this Banshee will be dealt with, but that was a lot of lost mining, and that definitely got Soul back into the game, because when you talk about the work account, you know, now you see 54 against 56. That's pretty good for the Darren.
Yes, it is. Especially because we don't have any Colossus on the field yet. There is no Side Storm. Yes, there is double Forge, but since Soul actually went up to 3 CCs that quickly, I mean, on paper, this actually looks quite all right for Soul. It's going to take a little while, and obviously he's not where he's supposed to be. I'm not going to say he's about to win this game, but this is a very playable position.
Yeah, definitely. He has the double eBay going as well. Zest opting to start with a single Forge rather than straight double Forge. So I actually kind of, yeah, I really don't mind Soul's position at all. I think he's in a very, very good position. The thing that I would love to see right now is either to get 1 or 2 turrets or even get a sensor tower so he doesn't just die to a Warp Prism in his main base. And there we go, Warp Prism goes down and the Widow Mine. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Not bad at all. Now, obviously, this will come down to some of the big engagements, or maybe Soul can eventually get a good drop somewhere in the 3rd base or the natural, something among those lines. He does pick up 2 Metavex. What is this for? Is this just a drop? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a drop.
How many observers do we have on the map, Mapu? Sorry, go. I just want to see 3. Where are they? Can we take a look at all 3 of them? Okay, I like that one, like that one. Wait, what? Okay. All right, well, that's pretty good spacing, I'd say. It's kind of weird that he doesn't have anything on the other side of the map, but there is a Raven, and he does have the Stalkers there as well, so yeah. Pretty good vision by Zest, I would say.
Whenever you have to warp in so many Stalkers like this, I always feel it's kind of bad for a Protoss, honestly. Like, it's not a unit you really want to be spending your gas on at this point in time. You want to be getting out the High Templars, the Colossi possibly, the High Templars. So the fact that he's done that just to kind of defend this 4th, which...
By the way, can we give a shout out to Zest going 5 base held Stalker?
Yeah, yeah, but he's on 8 gas.
What? What is he spending his gas on?
Stalkers, mate.
Yeah, Stalkers. So he has a very poor army with a less than ideal mineral income.
Hey, mate, we don't question Zest, you know, we just admire the play. This War Prism, though, did get past that turret, so...
EMP, that's kind of funny. Oh, that's a pretty big weapon, Widow Mines! Oh my goodness, both of them get picked off. I don't know if those Marines are going to be enough. You're going to have to micro a little bit there, Soul. He's going to drop an interference matrix as well. Good micro by Soul on the main base. Snipes the Prism, takes care of the Zealots. Damn, guys, very, very well done here by the Polish Terran.
I mean, like, a lot of this could be avoided by having, like, the Widowmine better placed at the 3rd base and stuff.
All things considered, though, that was
all
damn
things
good.
Considered, yeah, he shut down that War Prism and only 7 SCVs lost.
No Robo Bay, right?
No, no Robe. So he's just gonna stay on
the big immortal tactic.
That's what are you doing, my friend? Triple Robo, no Robo Bay, double Forge, Templar Archives. Now,
mate, he really
he's
wants
gonna get this 4th
now.
base. He's actually gonna get the 4th. Can you believe that?
I mean, I can.
And he gets the Raven too.
Oh, by the way, Zest macro at its peak right there. 9 Zealots warped in, but he had like a 17k 12 or 1700, 1200 bank right there.
Be careful making those jokes, man. I made a little joke to Drogo. Did you hear? didn't take it well.
Really?
Nah, he was fine in a bantering way, but he did give me the death stare. Because I was like, I think who was the Protoss playing? Somebody had a pretty decent bank. I was like, he's sitting on a little bit of a Drogo bank, and he looks at me in a very intense way. He's like, "You are the last person in this building that's allowed to make that joke." And I'm like, well, it's just a joke, mate. Oh, EMPs rain down on this Protoss army, actually. As a couple of Zealots do go down. Man, I like this Pistol a lot.
Wow.
The Immortals, they do get safe, but it's just Stalkers, man. Stalkers ain't that great.
And what are the
micro.
upgrades, actually? Like, is it one? Okay,
2-2.
2-2. The Terran
against
against
1-2.
2-1. Yeah, that's insane for Soul.
Oh.
Also taking out the 5th base.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know what the hell the strategy is from Zest.
Yeah, but
I mean, he might clean this up.
yeah, and then he has a nice little bank for the rainy day as well. So he should
He's
be
got a
able
lot
to.
of gas. He's gonna get plenty of high Templars. But this was weird. Come on, guys. 5 base, triple Robo, no Robo Bay before
8
Storm.
gas.
Hey,
I think all of this looks fine if he's on 3 gas.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like the strategy makes sense, but
Hey,
he's
mate.
just floating 1900.
Mass Immortals is pretty good against Mass Marine, all right?
I mean, I'm
you don't
okay
want
with-
Colossus.
I'm personally okay with going up to 4 bases of 3 gases, and
Yeah.
even that sounds extreme, but I think 5, I think that's where you can maybe start getting a couple of tech units.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Templar or 2 in there. Yeah.
Wait. What are the upgrades at for Zest right now? Because he's getting a
2-2.
shield
3-2.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So those are really good upgrades, actually. Like, now they finished. Now he feels a bit more solid. And Soul is trying to get a drop in to the 3rd base of Zest. I mean, this game has been pretty crazy. And behind all this, Soul has a really good work account as well. So this is getting to the much later stage of our TvP.
Yeah, I would love for Sol to realize that there's no Colossus and either get a lot of Widow Mines with this or just get a lot of Liberators with this. He
Yeah.
needs one of the two. I think if you just stay on Ghost, it's going to be very hard to fight against someone like
good
that.
drop, though.
This is a good drop, yeah.
I mean, a couple of Stalkers. Zest, by the way, just wiped in like 7 or 8 more Stalkers. Like, man, in the old days, we would say that he's got the Stalker syndrome. Oh, Storm drops, and they are good. Love the positioning of those side Storms. He dropped them before the army, but that was the only place that army could possibly go to. And suddenly, Zest takes a 30 supply lead and makes all of us look silly. Let the man go up to 5 bases of 8 gases and no tech units, okay? Because he's freaking Zest, and he does whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, that's one of the real things about Zest, you know, like we can make fun of his macro, we can make fun of whatever else, his choices, but he knows how to kill a man, and that's what he does really freaking well.
That was sick. Those I really love the spacing of those storms. Huh?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't on top of the army, it was on the left side of the army.
And it
but
was
if the
where he's going to run into, you know.
Exactly. Really, really well done. That's a good EMP there. That's just randomly wipes in like 8 sentries. I love this.
And Zest is like, man, that 3 Robo Immortal army, that was made for this PF. So Stalkers are warped in from the right side. And I mean, he doesn't really have that many storms. Maybe this High Templar, no, he doesn't have any storms. His army's pretty weak, honestly, against the Bio. But
he's got the Zest bank.
It is, yeah, he does have a Zest bank. Not a Drogo bank at all. Soul running thin, and GG. Zest takes the first game against Soul.
That +3 armor as well paying off there in the end. It really felt that those Stalkers and Immortals lived forever. By the way, it just felt like they took 0 damage. Well, guys, that is a game that I find kind of difficult to analyze. But because it's Zest, I'm sure it makes sense. And he gets the job done. Damn it.
I mean, one of the things also, it's Soul, right? Like, analyzing a game like that is pretty difficult. Like, I don't really know who was ahead from the early game. He shut down the first Banshee really well, but then he didn't predict the second Banshee at all. His main base was entirely open. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, this is... I was just looking at the gas count and I see like 8 gas, no tech on the way. Usually what you see with this kind of playstyle is once you're in 3 base and you realize the Terran is getting his own 3rd, you go up to 5 or 6 gas as soon as you can. And then once you take your own 4th, you start adding your double robo, your robotics bay and whatever. But it seemed like Zest just was completely fine with, I don't know, just staying on Zealot Stalker and especially a high Stalker count, which to me made very little sense. But I mean, he wins the game again from a pretty bad position, I think. So, yeah.
I was actually kind of worried on the fight on the right side, but then he just turned it around. And after he sniped the 4th base as well, just suddenly felt that everything went so much better for Zest. It was really weird because things didn't look that great, but I guess because he was sitting on a little bit of a bank and then suddenly that bank kicks in and he does win the fight and he pushes back the army, he gets the job done.
I've got a really important question for you two, too. How do you feel about this jersey and then the shirt over the jersey and then you're wearing a baseball cap on top of it? That's
think it's
2 minutes of
awesome.
fashion.
I think the man looks great.
I think so
He looks
too.
sick. Yeah.
But then again, I'm pretty sure he can show up in a Teletubby outfit and in a onesie, and he would still look great.
I think he'd be
Zest.
pulling in all the chicks, you know. Like,
I don't think I can really think of many outfits in which Zest wouldn't look too great.
could you tell what map that is from this intro?
King's Cove.
Oh, Kevin, too good.
It's the
Too
beach.
good.
It's the only beach we have. Why? You were gonna flame the intro, weren't you?
No.
You're like, I've got no idea what's happening over here.
But mate, I was thinking a bit of Acropolis. You know, you got some like umbrellas and stuff going on. Like, where's
Acropolis
the beach
is
there?
a city, mate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got freaking those umbrella roofs and stuff. Have you not seen those on the
You know,
jump
Ben,
pads?
after all the hours that you spent analyzing of your
I heard
replay against
replays.
Daryl, I kind of thought that you would know King's Cove by the ins and outs by now.
I gotta tell you, Kev, you may call me out on this one, but you know, every time I tune into your stream nowadays,
Tell me.
yeah, it's about this frickin' Denver replay from 7 months ago.
What?
Mate.
I never
Yeah.
look at that replay, mate.
Every time I tune in,
Oh.
every time I tune in, you go AFK for like, you know, a bathroom break or
What?
something, but I know that replay is bloody playing.
You know what? I would absolutely...
Rotty replay analysis
I would-
right here.
I would own up to it if it was true, but matey, like, you had a 4.5-hour stream, and in that stream you played 4 games, of which one of them was against Cyril, and you spent an hour and a half analyzing it, 20 minutes being AFK with your mouse cursor on the Cyril win, and obviously the game actually being 25 minutes, and then somebody, I tune in at a random moment, it's like, Benjamin, can we see the replay of you against Cyril? Well, which one would you like to see, my friend? I've got a folder full of them, which consists of 2 games.
What can I say? 4-hour stream, like 2 1-hour or 2 hour-long games. You know, what do you expect, really, Kevin?
What Denver? I never look at that replay, mate. Which one? The year 0 one or the King's
Which
Cove
one? Which one? Which one? As if. Oh my God.
I
And it's
love
the
you
King's
guys.
Cove one. You know it is.
I thought the year 0 one. That one was legit, mate. Meanwhile, Dendron follows me on Twitter. All right,
Piece of
guys.
shit.
Let's talk about this. I love you guys. Let's talk about this TvP between Sol and Zest.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to look at the game for a moment here because I haven't been looking. I've been looking deep into your eyes, you know. But like here, we have a very, very aggressive Stargate placement. I mean, Sol is searching for some kind of tech. He might be actually. No, he's not able to get away with that Reaper, but he doesn't see anything at all, which that will make your make you worry as a Terran.
How many pylons did he see, though?
2. He Zest faked the pylon, actually. Pretty cool.
Yep. Well, this can get a little bit dicey then, especially with the way that things have been going for Sol. I felt like, in all honesty, all memes aside, he played a pretty damn good game on Thunderbird, and I really thought there were from time to time moments where he could maybe make something happen. Unfortunately, it wasn't going to be enough. Right now, he's got absolutely no idea of this proxy starport, or Stargate rather, that is so incredibly close. 2 Adepts going to show up in the natural as well. And now, obviously, I think that there's a very good chance that Zest is going to see where those Widow Mines are, right? Did he just shoot at an SCV or what?
He shot at a rock or his own CC there. I'm not entirely sure which one.
Okay.
Own
Was
CC,
it
I think.
Papuva, select the rocks.
No, it's SCC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, took a few
14.
shots there. But I mean, he sees the Widow Mine for sure. Like, in that Oracle, we see it skirting by
Oh
the
my
shadow of the Oracle. Moving
Guys.
into the main. That Viking, though, is close to production. So the more that he waits with that Oracle, I think it's actually pretty okay for Sol if he reacts.
Oh,
it
didn't
is not
see
okay.
that one.
It is not okay for Zest, okay? That is a sick opening by Sol, honestly. You don't want that to happen with your first Oracle.
Wait, that's where did he put the other mine? I thought he put one with
One at the
on
natural,
north
one in the main.
Oh, he's got 2 mines. Alrighty. Well, now the second Oracle is going to show up a lot of low HP SCVs though, so Zest, thank you very much for that friendly fire. He's going to be able to get the Widow Mine, but this Oracle seems to be in a lot of trouble. The Viking... well, Zest. Zest is a Viking, mate.
Oh, and he finishes up that shade as well in this mid. Oh my gosh!
What's happening? And the Oracle dies on the left side as well. Wait, what? And second Oracle died. Is this Oracle number 3?
That's
Number
third.
3, mate.
Yeah,
Number 3.
This actually is not good at all for Zest. If Sol is actually going to push out with this, I think
Three
Zest
base,
is in a
mate.
bit of trouble.
He's going 3 base there. He's like, I've lost all my adepts. Wait, there's no bunker over here. Okay, there's a tag. Hey, siege up, Sol.
Mate, when everything fails, just take a third base.
Oh my
you know?
goodness. Sol, siege up.
Okay, he does it, he does it. So now he'll be able to survive a bit. This is one of those situations, honestly, when me as a Terran, if I'm producing a lot of Marines, you know, I've got a good Cyclone now, or some Vikings, or even some Siege Tanks, you can honestly just push across the map and own the Protoss. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's Soul's
Oh,
kind of
oh
style.
my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, the Viking! What is that? The Viking gave the heads up to the Oracle. The Oracle would have flown straight into the Widowmine.
Oh, is it still gonna? Oh,
He
he's
knows.
okay. Gave it away. Gave it away.
Man, that was so funny, by the way, guys.
Is
Oracle dying, Oracle killing a bunch of us. But
Is just aware of Banshee? No, right? He has no clue whatsoever.
Is there a robo?
No. What's the energy
What?
on the Oracle?
There's no robo at all.
No.
He just used Revelation on the Widowmine.
Okay, so there's one Revelation left. There's a couple of Stalkers, not in position. There's only one
love
Banshee
that
on the map
course.
right now, right?
Guys, Zest is in trouble.
He's in big trouble.
I mean, the Marine count's pretty low, but this Banshee arriving
in
right
so
now, he
much
needs some
trouble.
recall back or something because
Viking
to the main base.
I love it.
Marine
Aw.
tank at the third. Soul is going to be everywhere. He's hitting from north, hitting from south, hitting from north and south. That was for you, Kalaris. We'll be proud of us.
I was about to say, am I on the couch with Kalaris right now or what? I mean, like, nice shut down this Viking in the main, but Soul, he's now got...
Oh, well, he's not hitting from the... Well, he's definitely not hitting from the west, guys.
what's he doing? Why did he pull the SCVs just to march to the left
Did he
side
see
of
that
the map?
Stargate yet? Another Oracle? Are you kidding? Now he's building a Phoenix as well. Cessus doesn't care about any... Wait, he's down 9 workers. It's not going very well.
No, that third base is not doing very well, Kev. I mean, that's the least saturated third I've ever seen.
Guys, what a game this is. That was so funny, right? It was just units dying in every corner of our screen, and then the Oracle dies out of screen, but you see like the green little stuff. I don't know what's happening.
The thing, though, for Soul, he's probably still thinking, like, oh, this guy's pretty rich behind all this. But the thing is, 38 probes. Like, he's in a terrible situation.
And no Forge.
What's with this third location, by the way? If you ever plan on flying that over to your natural third, it doesn't make sense. Okay, now he sees the Stargate. I mean,
How would you call the substance that's inside of the Oracle, the green stuff?
the green stuff?
Yeah, I mean, when it dies, you know, like it bleeds out the green stuff. What is it?
Plasma.
Yeah, probably.
It's the only thing I can think of from other games, you know.
All right.
By the way, I really... In fact, where is he flying this?
That marine stripping out. By the way, guys, shout out to our dedicated observer, Mapu. I don't know why he's doing it, but he's observing all of these games. He's not taking any breaks. He's doing all of them back to back to back. That man is making way too many hours this weekend as his Banshee does get a couple of kills. But Mapu, you are absolutely killing it, my friend, and we love you. Thank you so much.
I don't know why I find this whole thing funny, dude. Okay, so Soul is landing his third base. He's still got a worker lead as well, despite all of the craziness.
What is this army?
This
It's
is
like a whole bunch of stalkers. He doesn't have Blink yet. He's like, damn it. Okay, now Blink is ready. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to snipe this command center because then I'll be in a really good position again. Soul, don't lose that CC. Nah, right? Okay, I like the other turret. The adept show. What is this game? There's no way that this is Zest against Soul. I refuse to believe it.
I mean, I don't know what Zest is doing, but a lot of it feels very uncoordinated, you know. I mean, the tanks are super good against the Stalkers. The upgrades, he has those on the way, but Soul right now, I'm very surprised he's so safe and so, like, not willing to push out against what he's playing against, but he really chose to slow down the game.
I like the 6 extra gateways by Zest. He's like, I'm going to get a fort and 6 more gateways.
Yeah, but he's on 58 workers.
It's amazing.
7 more
7
gates.
gates. Come on, Zest.
And he's not even producing any
Another
workers.
one. Please, another one. I would die if he builds another one. No, right?
Oh,
Okay, he's gonna lose a whole bunch of stalkers there.
I think he's just gonna die.
Yeah, of course. He spent like all of his money in infrastructure and he's got no army. What is this game?
Hearthstone talked to us about Zest's decision-making in this game.
I mean, I honestly have no idea what happened.
Yeah, try and make him look good, because we're trying. I mean, it's just crazy play from Zest, honestly. Like, he's 40 supply down, he's got 1,500 minerals right now, 1,600, and he's got 10 gateways. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, he doesn't have charge?
No, it's really
Oh my god.
Oh no! The anti-armor missile connects with every single Zalop.
On the non-charge lots as well. That Guardian Shield's coming in real handy here.
I love the retreating Guardian Shield. It's like, yo, boys, we're losing this battle. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my god.
Oh, Charge is finishing up though, guys.
Hey, that fourth phase, mate, it's gonna come in handy pretty soon, yeah.
So still with 1,000 minutes. He's like, I'm about to get 10 Zealots, mate. Well, it's like, okay, Zealots are really good. The Oracles show up as well. The Stalkers blink towards the left. One Oracle does get picked off, and more Zealots get warped in. Can these Zealots somehow be enough? I think that the answer is absolutely not. The scan goes down. He must have DTs, right? No, he doesn't, Soul. He really doesn't. GG in probably the most hilarious 11 minutes of StarCraft 2 game. I love how dead Hearthstone is looking.
Hey, this is like Soul looks so confused as well, because if you compare the way that Zest played last game, where he was pretty dominating, even though the early game didn't go well, and then you compare it to this, where it just seems so lackluster, honestly. It's just...
I really wish that our producer would have just gone straight to Hearthstone's face, because can you bring the camera to us real quick? Because I swear to God, Hearthstone is sitting how he is right now, and he's just like, for like a solid 25 seconds, not a single head movement was given or anything, no emotions. You looked generally very, very confused.
Yeah, I still am, honestly, because the, I don't know. The game just didn't make a lot of sense.
It was wild. It was just, you know, it was really funny because at one point we were like, okay, we're going to make a little bit of fun of this. And then like the random 4 adepts run into the tanks
It kept freaking going, you know, like none of it made sense whatsoever. And I mean, I know a lot of people out there like, try and make the game more fun and stuff. Like, but Zest was doing every wrong thing that you possibly could. It didn't look like a pro player, you know.
It's very odd because a lot of the time when this kind of stuff happens, like, I can kind of see you lose the Oracle, you lose the adepts. Like, if your execution is off, but a lot of the decisions, I can even still see the Blink Stalker follow-up, you know. He feels his behind, he wants to do something, maybe while Soul's moving towards the third. But then, just like the floating money, the 8 gateways at the same time, these are just errors they're just errors. They're not even plays that you can really justify. So it's not even just execution-based mistakes, but it's like very big decision-making mistakes as well, which make very, very little sense to me.
Acropolis, man. I know you look confused.
Mate, I always look confused, you know, especially after that Zest game. Like, that was pretty wild, dude.
No, I'm with you, Cap. It really feels that the amount of gates he gets when he wants to get 4 bases is what he should have when he goes to 3 bases. Like, in general, if you go to 3 bases a lot faster than your opponent as a Protoss, then get that infrastructure, then get the units out, stabilize, and then you can always take a fort. But I feel like Zest goes from 2 bases, 3 gates, to 4 base, 11 gates. You know, there's no in between. Well, normally that's supposed to be a stepping stone progress.
Yeah, it's so sick because actually the first day I got here, Stats and Zest were sitting next to each other, and I just like put my chair in between the two. I was like, all right, boys, I'm gonna watch you guys for the next 3 hours.
You're the guy from Rick and Morty. Show me what you got.
I was like, all right, you know, they're gonna have a look at this. And I sat there for like 2, maybe 1.5, 2 hours. And Zest was like 7K really fast, like absolutely killing everyone on the ladder. Like, I think he lost like 2 games as I watched out of like 14. I was like, man, this guy is so sick. And then it just doesn't make sense that he plays like this. Like, he's, like, honestly, he's one of the best tosses I've seen play in a long time live. You know, it was so impressive. But I'm not sure why he isn't showing it.
I mean, we shouldn't forget, like, obviously, guys, we make fun, and we try to make these games funny for you guys as well. And we'll laugh about the mistakes a little bit more than we normally would in a WCS circuit event. But don't forget that these are long days, and jet lag can suddenly kick in as well for a couple of these Korean guys. We've seen it as well in the past with where even like non-Korean players that travel from far away. Like, this can suddenly hit you. This is day 2, right? It's a Friday evening.
How does this SCV have 6 health?
Repair, maybe. Like, I think
just
split
a second
of repair.
Okay, that would absolutely make sense. I was just looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. But this was a super early probe scout by Zest, like super early after the pylon. So he did a little bit of a harass here on the SCVs. Didn't really get a kill, but still, it serves its purpose. This
he
pylon,
did it in the previous maps as well,
the super early?
Yeah, every time pylon scout. And also, he did core first once again. And I don't think he's going to move across the map. It's a very, very odd thing that I think I've only seen Zest, and perhaps Hurricane did it once or twice, where he plays this Adept Sentry build, which then he goes into 2-gate blink into 3rd base. And they start with core first, and they're completely happy with just denying scouting. And they only do it on maps where the Reaper can't get into the main through an alternative route. So it's... Oh, well, this is terrible if your plan is to deny scouting.
It's weird though, right? Because like, how many probes are you actually behind? Like 2 or 3?
It's three
It's
workers.
3?
Yeah, it's actually a lot of money.
Whenever I play against this kind of stuff and I'm like, oh, it's an early Cybercore after committing to such an early scout, I'm actually fairly happy as a Terran, honestly.
I find it weird. I think you do one or the other. Like, I am one of the Protoss who personally loves to go Cybercore first as well. But then I don't scout that early, right? Because the early scout, it truly hurts you. You can go Cybercore and then Nexus, and you'll be fine against pretty much everything. There are some builds that can still be gnarly, but you truly have what it takes as a Protoss to defend every single opening. So I don't understand if you want to go Cybercore before Nexus, that you then also Pylon Scout, unless you expect your Terran opponent to just really mess up and somehow loses an SCV to your probe harass, but that should not be possible in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that the choices that players make, you know, because we as players were like, okay, how can I cut corners but also like be as greedy as possible? This is not cutting corners, being as safe as possible, but also just like kind of putting yourself behind where you should be. So just a weird opening by Zest, but
still, he spends a lot of chrono boost, by the way, on the Nexus, though, because you can see he's 7 workers ahead, and that's not possible unless you chrono Nexus, Nexus, Nexus.
Yeah, he only chronos Adept first and then everything on Nexus. And a lot of the time,
Is it
if
3
you go...
or 4? 4 straight on the Nexus? Chrono
Yeah,
boost?
I think so. And usually, if you open Nexus before core, on some maps you do want to get that second unit chrono boosted out. So I guess that's an advantage, but you're still definitely behind in income, and you're a little bit behind in workers as well. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what the thought process behind. I kind of hope Zest wins, so I can ask him about it, because I am actually curious.
I am curious about how he's going to defend this opening, right? Because he is getting the Stalkers, but the Observer is not out yet, and Blink is okay. I mean, if Soul flies into the main base, the thing is, Zest doesn't have that much vision right now. So this drop can potentially get a little bit of damage done. It all depends on where the Stalkers are. This pro.
Oh, he's moving out with the Stalkers.
Oh no, that's rough timing, guys. That can actually hurt, because he doesn't get a shield battery in the natural or in the main base.
There is an Observer moving towards that medevac now, so he might be able to spot it. There we go.
Oh, and he sees it as soon as he...
well, what is he going to do, though? Warp in 3 Stalkers? He doesn't see it yet. I don't think he sees it yet.
What's the energy on the Nexus?
51.
Oh, 48.
Damn it, I want to say 48.
I don't think this is too bad, though, right?
No,
if he loses 5-6 probes, it becomes pretty gnarly.
Yeah, but he's... Okay, well, I guess he will.
I mean, the mining time's definitely sucky, too. And by the way, going for the charge immediately after that, like... I think Zest's plan this game is pretty good, actually.
You know, if he gets the medevac, this wasn't that bad. And he will get the medevac. He gets the Liberator, too. Okay, I actually think this is really good for Zest now, guys. Like, 4 probes... come on. Okay, he does get the 5 probes in the end, but he gets the medevac and he gets the Liberator while going 3 bases and already getting charged. The only thing I'd love to see is a second Forge right here, right now. Look at when he gets these gates, by the way, guys, because I know some of you guys will be like, why are they laughing about Zest? The gates last game, they were awfully late. Like, yeah, it was a weird opening with the Oracle and stuff like that, and the 4 Oracles. But now 6 extra gates, 6 minutes into the game. Yes, this makes a lot of sense. I like everything that Zest is doing here. And I think the defense, all things considered, with how late he saw it, was pretty damn good as well.
Yeah, I mean, that Liberator did absolutely nothing. The medevac flew in, that did something, but the Liberator absolutely nothing whatsoever. And the fact is, Sol went for a 3rd base behind this, so he was kind of relying on keeping the Protoss back and away from him. But now, trying to get a 3rd base up, it's going to be ridiculously hard. Look at Zest, 4th Nexus also. He feels so comfortable right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing 2 or 3 extra gates being added as well once he gets the 4th Nexus, and just stay on 3 gas for quite some time. Get those double forges like Rotti mentioned, get a Prism out, and then perhaps you can try to do some damage, either in the main base or try to have a little push at the 3rd base.
That's our second Forge, Kev.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. Get that Prism, and just warp in a bunch of Zealots in the main, trade out a little bit, and the moment you trade out, you get a couple of SCVs. That's when you always can add that second Robo, the Robo Bay, or the Templar Archives, or both, if you truly want that. But I would like to see Zest trade out. It's really funny, though, because Zest did this kind of stuff against Hero Marine at the WCS Global Finals last year. And apparently he's just still a very big fan of it, or at least against the European Terrans. He's like, no, he's gonna spam Stalkers and Zealots. He's like, did it on the ladder, apparently got 7K according to you. So he's like, you know what, why tech up at all?
I'm always so surprised by Zest Bank, you know, in these kind of situations when he wants to be a little bit aggressive. It's like, oh, the Terran's climbing ahead in supply. It's like, well, yeah, only because Zest isn't really spending his money, and 4 more gateways on the way.
This is still a game, though.
I like this a lot, actually, by Zest. The way he's playing it now, I think, is what he kind of wanted to the last game, but everything kind of got
Fell
bungled
apart.
up. Yeah, everything just got messed up. And this is the way he's producing his gateways now, the way he's probing up, the way he's getting his forges, his stalker movement. I think
5th base, though?
I would prefer seeing 3 extra gases added first, but
He's getting the Tablagas right now.
Yeah.
So guys, even though like we talk a lot about everything we like that Zest is doing here, I actually don't hate all of this for Soul. Now it is very important in the next 2 minutes something good happens for Soul, but right now it's very possible something good happens. I'd like to see, okay, he is supply blocked a little bit, maybe call down for those depots. I'd like to see a few more units. He's not getting Storm immediately, actually he's morphing a couple of the High Templars into Archons, but there is some potential, guys, for Soul to actually get some damage done. Obviously not like this, but no, the Raven! Interference Matrix on the...
So he's expecting High Templars to be in that War Prism. I mean, they absolutely weren't. The anti-armor missile is on his own units even. This War Prism is just for show. Saves his own Zealots as well. This is very bad for Soul. Zest admits all of this, even though he's winning the fight. 1,500 minerals in the bank. Now he warps in a ton of units.
That was a disastrous fight for Soul. Literally everything you said, Ben, was correct. He dropped the Infinite Matrix on the Prism, thinking High Templars were inside of it. There was no Storm, guys. There were no High Templars inside of it. Soul could have done so much better there. He does have a little run by the 3rd. He's going to be able to get a couple of SUVs, but he will lose his 4th base in return. And Zest is probably just going to try to win the game here, guys, because he's got a lot of gateways and he's got a lot of gateway units.
Yeah, this is going to be extremely hard for Soul to stop. Only half of his army is at home right now. 3rd base is under attack. We'll lose all of his SCVs there. This drop isn't going to be able to do it either. So I don't really see much for Soul here, honestly.
No,
that fight was disastrous.
Yeah.
Like, it really should have gone so much better than what it actually was. This orbital will go down. Soul, his supply is plummeting. 1 or 2 Widow Mines not going to make the difference. GG, Zest will pick up his 2nd best-of-3 victory in this group and will now increase to a 2-2 record, or improve rather.
Yeah.
He was 1-2 before this series. Soul falls to 1-3. So for Soul, it's going to be rather difficult to make it out